I'm back with the next part of our Army of the Dead series, and today's plan is to continue the fight against the north. We are going to slowly continue our way towards Winterfell, eliminating all those who stand in our path. So the current plan is to march to Shadow Tower and take it from the Umbers. Then we're going to march south and take a settlement from House Glover before sailing across to the island to take Mormont Keep. That is going to be the current plan going forward, but it can easily change if an enemy army decides to attack. If we see any enemy armies go for any of our settlements, we'll change course as needed, but that is what we're going to start off doing at least. But before we can head to Shadow Tower, there is an army belonging to House Glover. I believe originally the army was on their way to Nightfort to assist the others in taking our castle, but they didn't arrive in time. We beat them there, cut down the defenders, and now they're trying to flee. If we can catch up to them, we'll eliminate them, but if they get too far away, we may have to just scrap the idea and just go for Shadow Tower instead. Well, it looks like we're not quick enough to catch the enemy, but they do have their sights set on Nightfort, so if we just stand around on the side here, we can just wait until they launch their attack and we'll swoop in behind. It'll be too late for them to go anywhere. And just as planned, the enemy have launched their attack and they have fallen right into my trap. And now we shall eliminate them. Even though the army only has 340 soldiers, it's made up of 6 enemy lords. So if we execute all those, we take another chunk from the northern army, and then we can turn our attention to Shadow Tower. I feel like I'm getting too comfortable with this terrain, and I don't know if that's a good thing. That just sums up how many battles we've had to do in this area so far. That being said, the beacons are lit. House Glover calls for aid. Who is going to come to their rescue? Are the Knights of the Vale suddenly going to come running over the hill while we launch our attack? Be on guard, men. Be on guard. We don't know what the enemy have summoned by lighting the beacons. Knowing my luck, it was my own undead soldiers who lit the beacons. Maybe a few of them were just feeling a little cold. They wanted to sit around the campfire, warm up the old bones. But we were rudely interrupted by House Glover. Well then, we shall soon deal with them, men, and you can go back to your campfire. Hang on a minute, lads, why have 4 of you run ahead of all the others? Are you that eager to die? And why have the archers formed a firing line on my cavalry? What is the tactic here? The enemy are trying to eliminate me? Alright, cavalry, on me, men. Well, a few of them seem to have got stuck on a rock. It's a giant open field with a single rock in the way, and somehow half of you managed to hit the rock. That's a talent in itself, I won't lie. I don't know how you've managed to pull that off, lads. Fair play to you, I guess. But cavalry, we are going to hit the enemy from behind. We'll eliminate their leaders. We will cripple the enemy's morale. And we shall eliminate as many as we can. And hopefully the infantry will arrive to back us up. We have broken the enemy's formation. They're not going to be able to form a shield wall against the infantry. Attack, men! Cut them down! House Glover falls today. I don't know how powerful House Glover is in terms of the North's strength. Are we striking a massive blow to the northern forces, or are House Glover a fairly small clan and their army meaningless? For all I know, this victory could lead to the downfall of the Starks, or on the other hand, it means absolutely nothing in terms of their military power. I have to respect the fight they're putting up, though. Even though we outnumber them something like 3-1, they're still inflicting heavy casualties. We've lost a good chunk of soldiers. Thankfully, though, due to my medical skill, I think most of them will end up wounded rather than dead. Enemy reinforcements have arrived. But it should not be an issue. The swarm should cut through them. It looks like the enemy infantry has been dealt with. We don't have to worry about them anymore. There's just a handful of cavalry running around. But the battle is pretty much over. We are done here, men. We are done. I shall allow the undead to clean up, kill those remaining, and we shall then march to Shadow Tower. The march to Shadow Tower shall now begin. Our army is pretty much full. We've hit max capacity. Our only issue right now is we're walking around with 450 wounded soldiers. We just never have the opportunity to stop and heal. But we can't stop attacking the enemy. If we give the land of the living a single chance to recover, they'll take back their territory, they'll eliminate my forces, and we just can't allow that. But all I ask is for a little break, men. Please, allow the soldiers to recover at least. But the castle is already out of food. The garrison is going to starve, so we don't need to do anything with them. And since the militia is fairly small as well, we're just going to launch our attack. The enemy only managed to build a single catapult. We're going to keep the siege going a little bit longer just to remove the garrison, but we'll make sure to launch our attack before they build that second catapult. That's the last thing I want. And there we go, the garrison only has 9 soldiers, the militia of 140, and they have a single catapult. This should be a fairly straightforward battle, and hopefully we don't suffer too many casualties. There shall be no delay in our attack. Oh my god. Well then. Sound the retreat, men. Fall back. We have been flattened by a single catapult. Thank God I didn't allow them to have 2 of those. It would be truly devastating. And hang on a minute. The walls are already broken? That was not my doing. I assume the Glovers must have done it when they launched their previous attack. Or I'm hoping we're now out of range of the catapult. If not, you better get a move on, soldiers. Run or be flattened. I mean, if we take a quick look, over 40 soldiers fell in that first catapult fire. If the catapult can rotate far enough and it has a direct line of sight on my soldiers right now, the results will be truly devastating. Please, I beg you, do not flatten my soldiers. I think we may actually be in luck. I don't think the catapult can see us, but there's no way I can push through all of these undead soldiers. We are effectively useless this battle. Move, men! Commander coming through! I raised you all from the dead, and I will send you back if you don't leave a gap for me. Quickly now, men. Well, I think it's safe to say we're probably not going to see any action this fight. But it's good to know that Shadow Tower is basically ours. I have yet to make it inside. I'm still trying to push my way through all of the undead soldiers. And there are less than 10 defenders. I really didn't actually get to see a single bit of action. And the battle's over. That was it. The last 3 minutes of my life have been me just trying to get inside the castle. On the one hand, I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't get to do a single thing, but on the other hand, I'm proud that my undead soldiers have come far enough that they can win the battle for me. I'm not actually needed on the battlefield anymore. We have left behind our standard 250 soldiers for a castle garrison, whereas normally we'll do 300 for a settlement, but now we're just going to continue the attack. We're just going to march straight into House Glover's realm. We shall eliminate all those that are living there and take the settlement for ourselves. What is going on with House Glover's realm? There are brigands everywhere. Surely you can defend your territory better than that, my friend. It is absolutely plastered with criminals. If you need something done, send in the undead, I guess. We will soon clean up this area, don't you worry, my friend. Don't you worry. We have Lucas of the Moon Brothers just to our right, which is another undead faction. I assume the Night King must have recruited an additional lord because I don't remember seeing them before. But now we're running into some northern lords. Are they all going to hide inside the settlement or are they going to run away? Some of them have hidden inside, others have run away. But that is not going to stop us. We are going to launch our attack either way. There is a militia of 400, a garrison of 230, an enemy lord with 90, and another lord with 50. The enemy have built a catapult already, but weirdly they've put it outside the walls. That's an interesting tactic, I must say. And hang on a minute, we've just received a notification that we are the new owner of the Rills. What is the Rills and why is it mine? Has Lord of Bones or Mance Rayder launched an attack of their own? What is going on? The Undead, every day that passes, the Undead evolves and becomes more advanced. I am actually amazed at their progress. I never thought we'd get to the point where they're taking territory of their own, but we're actually making really good progress. For this settlement, we're probably going to have to wait the 10 days in order to starve out the garrison. We're going to need numbers on our side, and we're probably going to have to destroy the defenses as well. We have just received word that a place called Torrens Square or something is under siege by the enemy. I didn't even know it belonged to us. I saw the notification to say that the Rills belong to us, but I don't remember taking this one. What is Mance Rayder doing down there? Right now, all I'm picturing is Mance Rayder and the Lord of Bones side by side, just eliminating everyone, causing absolute chaos. But we're just going to have to double down on taking the Glovers right now. We can't turn our attention to anyone else. And if the settlement is still under siege by the time we take them down, then maybe we'll run to their aid. Otherwise, we're probably going to lose the castle. But again, I'm not too bothered because I just didn't know we even had it. I wasn't prepared to be that far south already. And now we've just received word that the Rills is under siege as well. One thing I noticed, the last time Mance Rayder helped me take a castle, he didn't leave behind a garrison. Both him and the Lord of Bones just run away the moment the fight was done. So it wouldn't surprise me right now if neither of those castles have anyone defending them. Or if they do, it's very basic militia. Which means the enemy are probably going to take it back pretty quickly. There's probably not going to be a fight at all. The enemy's garrison is no more. We have starved them out, which means there are only 500 defenders inside. Their defenses have all been destroyed. We have eliminated every catapult across the wall. But not only that, due to the long siege, we've actually allowed our soldiers to recover. We have less than 50 wounded soldiers and over 800 battle-ready warriors. It is time to launch our attack. We shall storm the walls and eliminate House Glover. For this battle, we are going to be the first man in the castle. I don't want a repeat of last time where the Undead blocked me from any action. We are going to be on the front lines, and we will fight side by side with the warriors. We shall cut down the enemy and eliminate House Glover once and for all. Forwards, men! Forwards! Or maybe backwards. The enemy have already pushed through the opening. If we ease off a little bit, allow them to run outside, we can then swarm them, rather than being stuck in this little tunnel. So backwards, men! Sound a fake retreat. Bait the enemy out of their own castle. We also have trebuchets in the background, so assuming our warriors have good enough aim, they could drop a boulder straight in this gap and eliminate hundreds of enemies. Okay, hundreds might be exaggerating a little bit, but they should be able to eliminate at least 5. Surely a well-placed rock would kill 5 of them. Or am I asking too much? Can you at least eliminate 1? But we have now made it inside the castle. The enemy started easing off because they were suffering too many losses. Or I think they eased off a little bit too much and have allowed us inside. There are a lot of archers in the background firing at us though. So we need to be careful. Some of the undead have managed to make it inside, but I think the enemy have actually pushed most of us back outside the castle. So forwards, men! Do not stop now! The archers are proving to be a bit of a pain, but I don't know what can be done about it, to be honest with you. I am heavily outnumbered. I am not going to be able to take down all of those alone. I may be able to delay them from firing at our soldiers. I can cause a bit of a distraction, but that might be about it. And we have done it. We have breached the enemy's defenses. The archers are in a full retreat. The infantry is pretty much dead. House Glover has fallen. They will not be able to recover from this. We have won the battle, men. We have won the battle. Oh, actually, the other side is struggling. They have yet to breach the enemy's defenses. Quickly, men. Assist the others. Eliminate the Glovers. A few of the soldiers have engaged the archers in close combat, so we'll leave them clean up, and I'll assist with the infantry. And it looks like the men are now flowing in. Now I believe the battle is over. We have defeated both sides of the settlement. Those who are still alive are running back to the keep to lock themselves in, but it is too late for that. You cannot hide from the undead, my friends. You cannot hide. Well, due to the long siege, we allowed our enemies time to take our castles in the south. One of them has already fallen and the other won't last much longer. If we take a look, the enemy already have a battering ram, so it won't be long before they launch their attack. And as expected, Mance Rayder or the Lord of Bones, whichever one took the rills, did not leave behind a garrison. There is only a militia of 100. So even if I was to march right now at full speed in order to assist them, we were never going to make it in time. We don't stand a chance in helping them, so for that reason, we may as well let the castle fall. There is no point marching all the way south in order to rescue it, because as I said, we're not going to make it, so we'll just end up retaking it, and if we're not in a position to take the others, they're just going to take it back. So we may as well go ahead with the attack on Mormont Keep, eliminate those out of the way, and then at least we know we have this line here, where all enemies are south of this line. And then that way we can continue pushing down Westeros. The last thing we want is to push down now and then have to backtrack on ourselves. It'll just be a massive waste of time, and when we do backtrack we risk losing our front lines anyway. So we shall eliminate the Mormonts and then we will continue our attacks south and work our way towards Winterfell. This cannot be. We have just received some of the most devastating news. We had just left House Glover's territory. We were sailing to Bear Island in order to eliminate the Mormonts. We were going ahead with executing our plan when we were just informed that the Lord of Bones has died. Somehow, the enemy have defeated him. I don't know where he fell in battle. I don't know what kind of army he faced, but the Lord of Bones is no more. If we go to our clan, go to parties, he is gone. He has been eliminated. How has this happened? Who has done this? We cannot find any information on how Lord of Bones died. All we know is that on the 11th day of winter in the year 302, he was executed. About 9 days earlier, he was laying siege to one of the enemy castles, so he was deep in northern territory. I believe he was laying siege to this castle here. I don't know what he was doing this far and that close to Winterfell, but Mance Rayder, my friend, please do not suffer a similar fate. I don't know what I'll do if I lose 2 of my lead generals. You guys have been with me from nearly the beginning. You were one of the first Whitewalkers I created. I cannot afford to lose you both. But you have my word, Lord of Bones. The North will fall. We will get revenge for your death, my friend. We will eliminate all of the living. For now, we will continue sailing to Bear Island to eliminate the Mormonts. We defeated Jorah Mormont's armies when he was leader of the Night's Watch, and now we shall eliminate his bloodline. There are nearly 300 defenders. They have a catapult and we have nothing. We could wait 8 days in order to starve their garrison, but I shall not delay the attack any further. We will launch our attack on the enemy. We outnumber them nearly 3 to 1, so the odds are in our favour. Surely we will not be defeated. We shall storm the walls, we shall lift the ladders, and we shall lay siege to the settlement, men. Forward, soldiers! Eliminate the living. The living shall feel our wrath for eliminating Lord of Bones. We will kill all those who stand in our way. The enemy are trying to secure the ladders, so we're just going to have to protect them quickly. I need as many soldiers as I can get inside, but also the men are in a prime position to get crushed by the catapult. So we need to make our way across the castle walls in order to take down the catapult. We can't keep suffering this many casualties. The catapult is truly devastating. Out of my way, men! I will cut through every single one of you if I have to. I cannot be stopped. We have managed to run around the back of the enemies, and hopefully the catapult is right above my head. We need to eliminate them now. I'm just going to ignore everyone else. And there it is. The thing that is causing the most pain right now. The enemy catapult. We have now taken command of it. It belongs to the undead. I can now put their fire bombs to good use, and hang on a minute. We got hit by an arrow just as I was about to throw the fire pot. That should do the trick. I did damage a lot of my own soldiers though. I suppose we can always raise more undead soldiers. Although if we're blowing them up and burning them with fire pots, maybe there won't be anyone to raise once we're done. Maybe their bodies will be too badly damaged and we're just going to have to leave them dead. But we should have eliminated enough of the enemy that our soldiers can just run on through. The enemy are going to keep trying to retake their catapult, so I can't really assist the soldiers too much right now. I'm going to have to defend this damn thing from the enemy. Although that being said, one battle strategy I suppose is if I throw all the fire pots away and just waste them all. Meaning if the enemy retake the catapult, there'll be no ammunition anyway. There we go. Now we can assist the soldiers and we don't have to worry about that damn catapult. The enemy is still defending the front gate. I don't know what from. There's no one there, my friends. Poor guys probably got ordered to defend the gate with their lives, and they took it too literally and they have not moved. Even though everyone else is dead inside this castle, they will not give up the front gate. They are true soldiers listening to their final orders till the very end. But I think it's safe to say the Mormonts are no more. The undead have eliminated them. They're just running through the castle right now, eliminating all those who are left. There were less than 300 defenders inside this castle, and we took out a third of them. Not bad. Not bad at all. I wonder how many we killed with the fire pots and how many we just cut down with the ice blade. I knew I said I was going to eliminate the Mormont bloodline going into this battle, but I didn't realise it was going to be this brutal. All that remains of Lyanna Mormont is her shoulders. And with the fall of the Mormonts, we have accomplished our goal for today. We set out with the original goal of taking Shadow Tower, House Glover, and the Mormonts, and we have accomplished that. But to be honest with you, I'm surprised that the Rills is still under siege. I thought it would have fallen by now. That's why I didn't bother coming to its aid. I don't know what's taken the enemy so long. If we take a look, the militia is unharmed, so they haven't launched their attack yet. It's not even as if they're thin in their numbers or anything. If anything, the militia has actually got slightly stronger since we last looked. So I think as things stand, we are going to continue making our way south. Since we're on this side of the map already, it'll be fairly pointless in marching all the way over to Dreadfort to eliminate those. We may as well take those out near us. I imagine we'll probably start with marching to the Rills, since 1, it's on the coast, and 2, it is under attack. It's probably going to fall by the time we get there. I can't see the enemy cancelling their attack anytime soon, especially since there's only a militia of 100, and it's not as if Mance Rayder is anywhere near in order to stop them either. So once we've secured the Rills, we'll probably head east and start chipping away at all of these settlements here. There's a load of castles, I think 4 castles and 1 settlement, and once that section all falls and is under our control, next in line will be Winterfell. There'll be nothing else in our path. This does assume that the enemies don't launch a counterattack that force me to the other side of the map, but that is the plan as it stands right now. I've noticed that the other faction belonging to the Night King is still continuing south. They have now taken Ramsgate, so they've kind of formed a barrier between Dreadfort and Winterfell. I don't know what their plan is next, whether they continue down, but I've noticed they're only attacking castles. Actually, that's a lie because they did take a settlement in the north. Maybe at the moment, as it stands, they just don't have enough men to launch an attack on something like the Dreadfort. But the castles are much easier targets. But that is all we're going to have time for now. Momentum is starting to pick up and I think we're making pretty good progress. I didn't expect the AI to be this hands-on. I thought it was going to be entirely us who was laying siege to all of the castles and settlements, but I'm glad to see that the AI is actually assisting us. But as always, if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, see ya!